Howdy there, YouTube. Brother Briar back again. Smoking once again. My Paul Morningstar. Making Maximus Pipe jealous. Look at that bad boy. Inside joke. Smoking, once again, one of my favorite blends as of this point in my smoking life. Cyprian mixture. This is a video response to ViTheSamurai. He is doing a contest giveaway for some pretty cool stuff. Go check him out. And he's asked that we do a video response as our entry into his contest. And the criteria is to talk about those individuals who have had the most impact on your life. So I've taken a few minutes and I have jotted down 5 individuals who have had an impact on my life, and I'll go through them in order of least impactful to most impactful. Again, of those that are most impactful. So kind of sounds bad to say least impactful, but least impactful of the most impactful. So at number 5 is my great Uncle Bill. He and I shared the same birthday, and he's since passed away about 10 years ago, but he and I shared the same birthday, and so it was always a good time, just as you know, when I was younger, to just be able to celebrate those. It was just kind of a special thing that we had, a special bond we had because of our birthdays. But he was a World War II vet and a Korean War vet. Just part of that greatest generation, and never really talked about his military life for reasons that are, you know, probably understandable and obvious. He had to do some things and witness things that no one should ever have to do or see. But that's not necessarily why he made my top 10 or my top 5 list here. But the reason he did is because he was meticulous about everything. There was a right way to do every single task, whether it was making dinner, the way you organized your tools, the way you plant your garden. I mean, there was a right way of doing things, and I admired that so much about him. It was always fascinating just watching him do things. Even the way he ate, it was just like, that's the right way to eat, you know? So I admire him. He's had a large impact on my life. Number 4 and number 3 are some spiritual mentors of mine, both still living. One is my worship leader, John, and one is a staff member with Crew, a Christ-centered student organization, global student organization across all kinds of campuses, all different schools. But both of them have been just men that I can go to and talk really about anything, and I know that they have their best, or my best interest when I ask for advice, and just people I can go to. And it's good to have people like that in your life, so that's why they made this list. Number 2 would be my brother. My brother, he's very ambitious, he's very goal-oriented, one of the most driven people I've ever known, and it's been amazing to watch him, just his journey in life, the things that he's accomplished. He's a prosecutor, and just the road to getting to where he is as a prosecutor is a story in and of itself. But the reason that I admire him so much, and the reason he's impacted me so much, is because of what he does. He He's a prosecutor, as I think I just mentioned. Um, but he has to witness some horrific things, and then he has to go and put bad people away, right? And people have done the most heinous and horrific crimes, murder. I mean, the list. The list goes on. Drug abusers, drug dealers. I mean, all like the worst of the worst people. He has to witness the things that they've done. Show up on crime scenes at 3 a.m. Gets a call and has to go in, and then he goes home and is a loving husband and father. I don't know how he balances that and how he can keep it together emotionally and spiritually and all of that. So I I admire him very much for being able to do that. The world needs godly people in those kind of positions, especially in those positions, because in my opinion, you need people with good judgment who rely on the Lord to be able to handle that stuff. And last but certainly not least is my dad. Just for being the provider, the father and husband, and the spiritual leader of our family that he is. More and more these days, it's harder to find um, people who have good relationships with their dad. And I'm just very thankful that I grew up in a home where my dad was there. My parents, they've been married for 52 years, coming up here in September. It's hard to believe, but it's just been amazing to watch him lead his family. And he's had the most impact on my life because that's where I am now. I am a married man. I am, a husband. I am a father now. I often look back and think about, what would my dad do in this situation? And I think that's pretty common. And, if you were fortunate enough to have a good dad, you'd probably do the same thing. But anyway, I am running a bit long here, so I'm going to cut this off now. So thanks for hanging in there with me. The Samurai, Levi. I appreciate you doing this video. It was great content regardless of it being a contest or not. Those of you who are watching, I hope this inspires you to at least take the time to sit back and think about the people who've had an impact on your life, and maybe while they're still living, let them know how much you appreciate them, because there'll come a day when, like my great uncle, I won't be able to tell him, I'm not able to tell him the impact that he's had in my life and how much I appreciate him. So all about the feels tonight, all about the feels. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and we'll catch you next time. God bless.